Okay, so once you've logged into the JMU system, you're going to open the JMU app player and you're going to search for some software called Techsoft 2D Design. So just type in Techsoft and then click search and it'll find it straight away, 2D Design Tools, and click Run to open the software. This is software that's generally used in schools, and this is an A3 page, so it's quite large. The first thing we're going to do is go to Grid Lock, and then we're going to zoom in, drag out marquee box to zoom into the area, and okay, so you've got the select tool, which you've got to select each time. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a construction point, so it's not part of the drawing, it's a location point, and just pop that in approximately that position. Then I'm opening the circle with a radius tool, and I want a 40mm diameter, so it's 40 divided by 2, 40/2, around that construction point. I'm going to do another which is 20mm diameter, or 10mm radius, around the same centre point. That's for the battery holder. So the larger circle is the main body of the torch. So just zoomed in. I'm drawing a centre line because I want to get another construction point halfway between those two concentric circles. So it's a separate tool. Divide the line into two, and now I can just delete that line. Okay, so I'm just selecting that, so you can see that's a construction point there. And the next thing I want to do is I want to repeat those construction points. I want 3 all spaced around concentrically around the centre point, like so. And those are going to be for the screws. Okay, I'm doing a centre line. I'm going to put the cutout for the LED now. That's a centre line. I'm going to zoom in, and next thing I want to do is I want to do a parallel line. So contour, the parallel line contour, and the LED is 5mm thickness for the main body. So I want 5 divided by 2 because I'm drawing half on each side, and then I'm going to mirror. So that's 5mm for the main body of the LED. Then the rim, which is around the edge of the LED, is another 0.5mm out, so another contour. And then I need a channel for the LED legs to go into the battery, and that's just going to be 1mm. So that's 3 parallel lines from the centre. Now I'm going to do a delete part of line and just trim down that centre line, and I want to divide that to find the centre point as well. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Step Lock and Attach tool. I'm going to draw a horizontal line out. I'm going to use the Orient Lock to draw that line horizontally, and I want another contour above that, which is 1mm. So I'm just going to take Orientation Lock or Radial Lock off, and I'm going to start trimming down the parts. So you'll start to see, if you look at an LED, how this is going to be a cutout for the shape of the LED. So trimming out there, like so. There we go. And I'm going to drag a marquee box around to select all of those and then group them. So that's all grouped now. So I want to then mirror that around that centre line. I'm going to repeat it and just draw a centre line. Okay, so that's my LED. Okay, delete that centre line and zoom out. Okay, so we're almost ready to start doing repeats for the different layers, but I'm just going to select both of those. You can either hold down Shift, or you can click with a left click and then right click to then group them together. So the button I just clicked at the bottom there was Clone. Okay, and I want to put that on one of the grid points. So for the next one, to make that simpler, I'm going to go back to Grid Lock. I'm going to clone and then pick up from the middle and then place that with the centre on the grid point. So I've got 3 separate circles there, and the middle one is going to be my thicker middle layer, which is 5mm. So I only need the LED cut out in that one. And the next thing we're going to put in the middle one, and the one on the right hand side, I want 3 holes for the screws, which are 3.5mm radius. So you saw there what I did was 3.5 divided by 2. Now you can see that there it didn't quite go on the centre, so I'm taking off Step Lock and I'm keeping with the Attach tool. If you're close to it and you're just covering it with that little box, then it'll jump to the centre. Okay, so I'm going to delete the battery cutouts in 2 of them, but on the one that's going to go on the top, I want to change that and make it narrower for the button, the foam button. That was just going into properties and changing the radius to 9mm. Okay, I'm going to make that into a path, so that's a bit more than grouping. It's now one object for the top. Now I'm going to move to the bottom piece. So I want to delete that battery cutout, and I want to put in the hexagons for the captive nut. So I'm going to choose the hexagon. Now there's 3 options there, in fact more than that. So I want to have internal radius 5.5 divided by 2. So I want to have the start angle 0, and then using the attach tool like so, I'm going to put my first hexagon, and now I'm going to rotate those again through 120, which is already in there, repeating twice and rotating around the centre. So that's for my captive nuts. So that piece is almost done now. So I need to do a little bit of tidying up here. Okay, so because of the rim of the LED, we need to do a little bit of a cutout in the bottom piece. So I've just used the attach tool to draw a little rectangle. I'm going to use the move tool, and I'm going to use replace. And using the construction point there, I've just moved that from one construction point to the next. And I'm going to go to fill, and we use red here to indicate an engrave. So we want a deep engrave to make a little groove in there. And we'll do the same with the line, make that red. So the colour indicates the type of laser cut we're going to use. And I've just gone onto the text tool there. I want to put a little plus sign so we know how to put the battery in properly. And then I'll go into the settings, and I'll change the settings. So I only want it to be 10mm high. I want the colour to be red, so I want it to be engraved, and I want to make the line invisible. So I don't want the laser to follow the outline. Click OK, and OK. And then I'm going to pick it up and move it. Now I'm still got the attach tool on, so it'll attach itself to that centre construction point. So we're very nearly there. I just need to use delete part of line to trim those pieces. And I'm going to drag a marquee key box around to select everything and make path for the centre part. There we go. And then now I'm selecting the parts which I want to cut, so I can either click with the left and then right click the subsequent, or hold down shift and make path. Okay, there we are. And now I want to change, because we don't use black as a laser cutting colour. We're going to blue, and it's red 0, green 0 and blue 255, so fully blue. And we're going to change all the cutting to blue, like so. And the next step is going to be to separate out. So I'm saving the file. Now you should save your file as you're going along, just in case you lose things. You'll have to use a memory stick. So it won't, as you see, it won't allow you to save to the desktop on this system. So I'm putting a name here, so you can save. It doesn't allow you, and you'll navigate through computer to a USB memory stick. So save the first as LED torch 3.5, then you want to save as again, and you want to save the same file again as 5mm. Now you might want to add your name on as well. So now we want to strip out the other parts. So we've already got 5mm open, so we're just going to delete all of the parts which aren't going to be cut in the 5mm acrylic. Okay, so we can see that on the page there, and we're going to put that in the top left. It's the most efficient use of space, and just save that. So that's now that centre 5mm ring closed. So I've just gone to recent files, opened up, so I can delete the 5mm one now, and I can start to put those close together, so we're avoiding wasting space. I'm just zooming in again, and then we'll selecting these together now to group, so not making path, grouping these so that they don't go out of position, and then putting that into the top left, so it cuts right in the corner of the sheet, and save. And that's basically completed and ready for laser cutting.